right, race fans, not a ton of racing happened this past weekend. Mother Nature gets the Donkey Award. She rained out about everything, especially in Minnesota and Wisconsin. But we did have a few races getting into invitational season, some champions crowned at their local tracks, and we'll get to that in another show. But let's get to Ryan's recap, and then we'll get to this week's Power Rankings. First, over at the Victory Lane Speedway this past Thursday up in Winnipeg, Midwest Mod A main, Austin Hunter. He parked the 44 in Victory Lane, 8th to 1st. He's a rocket ship. That's a guy that we normally see racing for national championships, but COVID has the borders closed. We look forward to having him back down in the States, 4th of the year for Austin Hunter. Also over there in Winnipeg, this guy wins everything, and now he's not just dominating in modifies, he's doing it in the late models as well. How about Ward Emery doubling up, back-to-back wins in the late model, 3rd win of the year in the modified, another typical national champion contender. But I don't know, maybe he'll come down for the Sites race. Hopefully he can sneak down there. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Dakota Speedway over in Mandan, 8th to 1st for Hunter Damagala, his 6th win of the year, track champion up at the Dakota Speedway. Now let's head out to the Gallatin Speedway. Corey Craver, he got it done from 8th, his 10th of the year. He got 2nd in the modified. This guy had a good weekend. We'll talk about him again in just a second. But rocket ship out in Belgrade. I-94 Sure Step Speedway. This was a little bit of an interesting track, right? A little treacherous. Mother Nature had a little bit moist. Race Champions qualifier in the street stocks. Braden Brower, 7th to 1st. A little bit of drama at the end of this one. Last corner, Parker Anderson poured it in there, tried to get inside of him, clipped him in the left rear, turned him around. Didn't sound like any hard feelings. I saw some positive stuff on Facebook, which was good. 15th of the year for Braden Brower. Parker Anderson got put to the back. Tough break for him, but he's got a pile of them already. Now, in the Midwest Mods, how about this? Cowboy Shane Howell. He parked in Victory Lane, 8th of the year. Kind of a bittersweet deal for him. He was going to try to win the track championship up at the Gondikwa Speedway. Of course, they canceled due to weather. So he was a little bit upset, but he still went, and he went to the Fergus Falls I-94 Sure Step Speedway, and he made the most of it, parking it in Victory Lane, punched his ticket to the Race of Champions. And now let's talk about modified action, a guy that really needed a bounce-back win, the one TPO, Tyler Peterson. He started on the pole, 11th of the year, and he was absolutely dominant over there. He's got a few wins. This is a guy here, come Wissota 100 time. It could be his year. Remember, last year at the King of Dirt, he won both qualifying features over there. So that's a guy right there that could get her done at the 100. And then in the late model division, Cole Searing, 3rd to 1st, making a rare trip over to the I-94 Speedway. Shout out here to Sean Meyer as well, 12th to 2nd. Hell of a run for Sean Meyer. 15th to 4th for Ryan Michelson, who had a better part of the year off. He had a baby, and I think he was short an engine, so all kinds of craziness, but he's right back running good again. 16th win of the year for Cole Searing, and this was his first full car count win, so that's a big one for him. Now, let's head out to the Big Sky Speedway. In the street stock division, we just talked about him, Corey Craver. He parked it in Victory Lane out there. Outside row number 1, that's 11 on the year in the streets. He also won the IMCA mod feature. So 3 wins in a second for Corey Craver out west. That's a hell of a weekend. He's had a good year. Midwest Mods, no surprise here at all. Tony Liker from 9th. And I tell you, this guy right here, national championship contender. We'll talk about him in just a little bit here. Troy Liker 4th to 2nd. So them Liker boys are still up front every single night out there. Now, Superstock, Ryan Fashing, he got it done. His 4th of the year. He only has 12 shows and not a ton of Superstocks, but 33% win percentage. Can't shake a stick at that. Fashing really solid out in at the Big Sky Speedway. Now let's head up to the Devil's Playground, Devil's Lake Speedway. They did not get the Midwest Mod feature in. Mother Nature hit. They're going to have a makeup feature this weekend at their Labor Day special. But Joe Potter from the front row, he kept 2nd place. Dustin Evansteiner, who got 2nd in this, right? He kept him from making it 3 in a row. So a good run for Joe Potter. Electric City Speedway, Joey Tinker. his first since opening night. He won the opener and then the final night. So I don't know what all he did in between there, but a pair of wins on the year. Joey Tinker, congratulations out there in Great Falls and in the Midwest Mods. Jordan Tachi, he got it done from row 2. That's his 4th of the year. Now let's head out to the Jamestown Speedway. Street Stocks, Jaden Christ. He parked in Victory Lane, his 2nd of the year. Earlier this year, he got one, and it had been a while since a couple of years or so since he won a feature. So to win 2 in the year, that's a good accomplishment. Great job to him. And then in the Midwest Mods, 28 of them showed up out there. Rusty Coleman from outside of row number 1. And I looked at my race pass stats, and I'm not really positive. The most recent feature win that I found on there was an AMOD win, an IMCA AMOD win in 2018. And there was like a couple years before that, there was another one. He hasn't raced a ton. I don't know when the last time he won a Midwest Mod feature is, but according to my race pass stats, it's been a while. Rusty Coleman, tip of the hat. Congratulations on your win. Now let's head to the Bemidji Speedway. Midwest Mods, the 5B8. Aaron Blacklands from 5th, his 12th of the year. This is a guy here that's going to try to crawl up into the top 10 in the national points. In the Super Stocks, an impressive run. Max Barbie, 8th to 1st. That's a hell of a run. Let's be honest, up at the Bemidji Speedway, winning from 8th is tough. It's tough anywhere. A little tougher on that little bull ring there. So him getting it done from 8th, that's a great job for Sparby up there. 3rd of the year for him. And then in the modified divisions, another local talent up there, Davey Mills. He parked in Victory Lane, his 2nd of the year, up at the home of the Chicken Shack. And again, if you haven't been to the Bemidji Speedway, you hear whatever you hear about it, you got to get up there just for the Chicken Shack. It's second to none. Black Hill Speedway. They had the World of Outlaws there this past weekend, and World of Outlaws were the support class to the Street Stocks. Just kidding. Kinda. Street Stocks probably a little bit more exciting at this show. But Willie Ferguson, he holds off Troy Murner, which is not easy. Murner's a really, really good race car driver out there. But Willie Ferguson got his 4th of the year. Congratulations to him. And let's head to the baddest bull ring in South Dakota, the Casino Speedway. Street Stocks, Kyle Dykoff. He got it done, a dominant win from 8th. He literally drove to the front. Maria Brooksick got 2nd. She was pretty solid. But Dykoff, one of those guys up and down, right? You know, he's got the speed, but the consistency is just lacking. And, man, if he can kind of somehow put that together, he's going to have a big year next year. In the Midwest Mods, and just another fantastic race over there. Mike Nichols from 8th, but him and Adam Brotherton put on a hell of a show. They were side by side, a number of laps. It feels like it was like 10 laps. I don't know if it was quite that many, but they had a really good race out in Watertown. And that place over there, I mean, it does not disappoint. If you haven't been to the Casino Speedway, that's a hidden gem. You got to get there. In the modified division, Tyler Peterson got the lead early and then broke something in the rear suspension. It looked like, I'm not positive what happened there, but he lost the lead. Scott Ward got the lead, but here comes Superman Mike Stearns, who's been really, really strong. We'll talk about him in just a minute. He got her done from 8th, and Mike Stearns, he just keeps on winning out in South Dakota. And in the late model division, this is a guy I've been saying, man, he's got to get some bigger wins. He's got to get some full car count wins. Well, not 1, but 2 on the weekend. Cole Searing parked at Victory Lane, and that's back-to-back 12 show points, right? Over 16 car feature win, 112-point wins. That is huge this time of year for the national title race. And at the Granite City Motor Park, they had the Challenge Series there, the structural buildings. Wasota Late Model Challenge Series was in town, and man, James Fantina posted on Facebook he was contemplating maybe canceling with all the weather they got, the moisture. Showed some pictures, a ton of water on the track, but he did what he had to do to get the show in. And Parker Anderson in the Street Stock division, he punched his ticket. He got number 30 on the year. First driver in Wasota Racing to hit 30 wins. And I thought maybe he was going to run away with the win count, but Burdick's right behind him. He's got 28 Wasota wins, 29 total. So it'll be interesting to see who can get the most. The Midwest Mod feature, this one was awesome. 14-year-old Kennedy Swan. She's going into 9th grade. and she got her done from 6th. Right now, this track, let's be honest, it was a rodeo track. It was cowboy up. It was literally, you're chucking elbows. I mean, it was rough. It was not a smooth racetrack because of the weather that they got, because of the moisture. And she got her done from 6th. And I don't know how many times I've said it. We've heard other people say it. Man, you drive like a girl. You drive like a girl. Well, this 14-year-old girl, she made everybody look bad on that rough, sticky stuff. So congratulations, Kennedy Swan. And in the super stock division, I just mentioned them, Kevin Burdick, your Wissota Superstock national point leader, your reigning champ right now. He got his 28th Wissota win of the year, his 29th overall, and he stretched just a little bit on Shane Sobraski. This is going to be a big week for both of them. In the modified division, Dennis Zek, he got his first of the year over there. I believe he also won the track championship. And in the late models, the X Factor, Jesse Glenns, he won the Challenge Series race from the front row. He's got 4 pretty big wins here over the last month or so. So great job for Jesse Glenns coming into invitational season. Now, invitational season is here. Okay, I'm going to do all 5 power rankings in this show. Why? Because we didn't have a whole lot of racing to have. But the big ones for me coming up Thursday night, the 49th annual Silver 1000. Friday, the Wissota Classic. Saturday and Sunday, the Labor Day Shootout up in Hibbing. Of course, the Wissota Classic in Grand Rapids, the Silver 1000 at the Halberline Speedway in Proctor. Friday and Saturday, the Big Buck Nationals in Aberdeen. We're going to talk a little bit more about that one. A little bit of breaking news here. The East-West Clash. This is a race, triple header out in Gillette. Big national title implications on the line out in Gillette. Viking Speedway has a pair of 1,000 to win super stock shows, all kinds of stuff. Plus, there's a ton more. There's a lot of double headers and regular races, maybe not quite as high paying, but there's a lot of stuff out there. So get to the racetrack this weekend. You won't want to miss it. This is one of the biggest weekends of the year for national title hopes for all these drivers. So let's get to it. The September 1st edition of the BuyRaceShirts.com One to Go Show Street Stock Power Rankings. At number 10, Rob Petrov. 2 track championships on the year. Hell of a year. He's put together a great season out west. 30 podiums, 11 wins, but he had a winless month of August. A winless month of August. I guarantee he ain't happy. Okay? So he's got something to prove here this weekend. You got to start September off with a bang. I'm going to fade him to 10 just because of the wins. Super consistent. I mean, he could easily jump up there with some wins, but, don't knock him. He's gonna get a couple more before the year's out. At number 9, Justin Vogel. 1 win in August, okay? His 17 second place finishes, I believe that leads Wissota. At least it does in the top 5 classes, okay? Pink numbers, pink bridesmaid's dress, you keep on getting second. We might have to make something happen here. Vogel, he's been solid, but he needs to get a few more wins. At number 8, Hunter Van Gilder. Limited schedule, but he's won 5 of his last 6, including that big one up in Ashland where he held off Parker Anderson. 9 wins in only 18 shows. It's a hell of a season. In Rice Lake, they have a Labor Day show on Saturday. That's my pick. Hunter Van Gilder is going to win Saturday at the Rice Lake Speedway. Number 7, Corey Craver. Part of the stellar trio, right? He's that trio out in Montana, Craver, Petrov, and Jeremy Castro. His 4 wins in August says he's the hottest of them as of late. Only 5 of his 32 shows have been off the podium. This guy is ultra consistent. He's always in the conversation. He had a big weekend last weekend, Craver at 7. At number 6, Johnny Carter. August was much, much better than July. Let's be honest. I'm not sure where he's going to be this weekend. I'm sure he's going to be at Lisbon. They got the Dakota Dream, the 3rd annual Dakota Dream at the Cheyenne Speedway. That's Labor Day Monday. I'm sure he'll be there. I'm not sure where he's going to be besides there. Maybe on the doubleheader at the Devil's Lake Speedway. I guess we'll have to wait and see the reigning champ at number 6. At number 5, Mike Jans. Now, he didn't race last weekend, but I'd like to see him head west. I don't know where he's going. I'm sure he'll be in Madison on Monday. I don't know where he'll go the rest of the weekend. He's extremely fast, and if this guy raced more, he'd be a national championship contender for sure. Jan's in the top 5 at 5. At number 4, Jeremy Castro. His 14 wins leads the way out west, right? Part of the trio of terror, I'll call them, out in Montana in street stock racing. He's put together a fantastic season. You know, between him, Petrov, and of course Craver, they've kind of dominated. There's been some other guys stealing some wins from them as well, so they're not the only ones winning. The street stock racing is not just good in Minnesota, but it's really good out in Montana as well. Castro at 4. At number 3, Ryan Satter. Second in wins in Wissota street stock racing with 17, but as fast as he is, I think the next 2 are just a titch faster. I still think he's got a legit shot to win the Wissota 100. He's got a pair of shows this weekend at the Viking Speedway. Don't be surprised if he wins both. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Satter in the top 3 at 3. And at number 2, Braden Brower. 15 wins. I'm telling you, this kid's having an impressive season. He really is. And he got it done from row 4 over at the I-94 Sure Step Speedway in Fergus. And that was tough to do. They had a stellar field of cars over there. This second generation young gun is, I'm telling you, he's continuously getting better.